Hey, Gila, how are you today?
Wow, Nancy, it's great to see you in that gorgeous. What is that behind you?
So I'm out in Orcas Island in beautiful coastal Washington. Where are you?
As you can see, I'm just in nature. All those negative ions from the waterfall are really relaxing me. So, what are we going to talk about today?
That's a great question. Aren't we talking about outcomes? You're so good at that.
Yeah, let's talk learning. Sunglasses optional. I am fascinated with outcomes. I'm not quite sure why, but I think it's because they are the basis of learning. I'm intrigued, and there's some questions that come up to me. Should we say objectives or outcomes? Should we say learning or performance outcomes? What do you think about all this?
I think this is really helpful because we're all taught to have learning objectives, but what exactly is that? I know that I bring people together to make a difference, but how do I know how to make a difference?
That is such a cool question. For me, this is my personal bias. An objective is aspirational. It's something that it's like a goal. We want to achieve this. But an outcome is something that will have actually changed. And what you just said is that learning means that something should change. So my bias is always to call them outcomes and even performance outcomes, because it's about what people will be able to do as a result of the session.
I love this. So it's not just about giving over knowledge, but it's about connecting that knowledge to something that actually drives towards something is different for the person, for the organization. That's great.
Yeah, so I think if you're like me, you've seen a ton of three-ring binders on people's shelves in their office spaces. It's something that they were training from. And they sit there and collect dust. And if you open them up, you will see learning objectives. They're old, they're dusty, they haven't been looked at ever. And what I find is that trainers and teachers aren't necessarily teaching to those objectives anyway. They're delivering content only, and it's content that has no real form to it. They may get good class assessments, but typically it's because people like them, their liveliness, their enthusiasm, whatever it is, but not that they're teaching well and actually helping the learners do something new.
I think you're right. I think we all know we're supposed to create these learning objectives, but we don't actually make them come alive. So you're telling us that they should actually come alive.
What's so cool is once you have your outcome, everything else starts falling into place. In other words, if I know that they're supposed to be able to do something at the end of the training, guess what? I start thinking about activities that'll help them do that. They also keep me accountable as a trainer. Are they able to do what I promised them they'd be able to do by the end of the session? So
So
I
you
love it.
make space for them to practice, which is really awesome. But Gila, where do these outcomes come from?
Well, that's a really great question. Outcomes don't come like magic into our heads. So when we develop outcomes, we have to ask everyone who has a stake in what this training is all about, what they think should be included. For example, we should talk to representatives of the intended audience to find out what they need. We should talk to subject matter experts to find out what they think people should need in this field. We should talk to funders and board members, just about anyone who has a stake of any sort in what should change as a result of this learning experience.
Awesome. So, as we have often said, it is people at the heart of this, that really the people that we're serving, the people in the outer ring that we're serving, and putting them front and center on what they need to be able to do to move forward.
And
That's awesome.
the main thing that you just said is do to move forward. So with that, I'm ready to go back outside and really experience nature. How about you?
I am too. Have a great rest of the day, Gila.
Thanks. I'm going to put my sunglasses back on and see you at the next one. Bye bye, Nancy.
Absolutely. Bye bye.